Motivation has nothing to do with weight loss. Why? Because motivation comes and motivation goes. After working with over 1,400 one-on-one clients, what I found was that clients that got the best results were not always the ones that were the most motivated. They're the ones that have mastered building weight loss habits. And so if you're looking to lose 20 to 50 pounds permanently, following the 8 stages of habit mastery, then keep on watching. In 2020, one of my top members, her name was Maria, we used to train together twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. And back then, I owned 4 personal training gyms. She was a rock star client. She lost 30 pounds with me. I was so proud of her. And guess what happened? COVID hit, 2020. I had to shut down all of my gyms, and Maria, unfortunately, gained all the extra weight back. And for me, I was confused, I was frustrated, and I'm scratching my head thinking, Maria, you were one of my top members. Like, how did you gain all the 30 pounds back? And then it hit me. Maria was dependent on me as her personal trainer. What I failed to teach her was how to build habits that would keep the weight off permanently. So since 2020, what I did was I rebranded my whole coaching program to focus more on helping clients master weight loss results. And there's 8 stages. Today, I'm gonna go through each 8 stages step by step, because if you master them, I promise you will lose the weight, you'll fit into your clothes, you'll have the energy and confidence that I know is possible for you. And the best part, these habits don't just apply to fitness, nutrition, you can use them in any area of your life. Let's jump right in. 3 mistakes in building habits. The first 3 stages of building habits are actually where most people get stuck. Why? Because there's no action. And when there's no action, inaction leads to procrastination. So, stage 1, rejection. I get a call from John's wife. She was desperate to see if I can help her husband lose some weight. And John, he was just going through the motions. He was glued to the TV, beer on one hand, nachos on the other, disengaged, checked out, and unfortunately just made excuses for everything. His wife would nag him constantly, John, you gotta start making a change. You're not getting any younger. But John was in denial. He just laughed it off and said things like, well, it's just who I am, it runs in my family, you only live once, why bother? He had no self-awareness of how bad things really were. The truth is, John was comfortable and he was proud of his gut. That's why most of my clients are women, because honestly, most middle-aged men simply just don't care about their fitness until it becomes too late. For John, it wasn't until his doctor looked him dead in the eyes and said, you're diabetic. Your high blood pressure is through the roof. And if you don't make a change, you will have a heart attack. And that's the reality of most people in the rejection stage. They're in denial, full of excuses, blind to their own situation. And the sad part is, it usually takes a major health crisis to wake them up. Until then, no amount of nagging, motivation, or even coaching will help. And if your husband's like John, please don't send him my way because I can't help. Stage 2, intention. Last week, Sarah applied to one of my programs and Sarah said, Patrick, can you help me out? I'm trying to lose some weight. And I asked her, when are you looking to start? She said, well, I'll start when things calm down. But here's the truth, life never calms down. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start was today. There's always gonna be another school project, another late night at work, another family event. There's so many people that get stuck in this stage, intention. They're aware that they need to lose weight, but they never actually take time and take action to start. Stage 3, preparation. People in this stage are actively wanting to change. It's not just a nice idea anymore, they're actually starting to take ownership of their health. Maybe they're Googling diets, maybe they're researching workout programs, maybe they're following me on Instagram and checking out some of my content. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, go check it out at Coach Patrick Liu. From the outside looking in, it feels like they're making progress, but the truth is they actually haven't taken action yet. And the problem is research feels safe, but it doesn't create results. The best teacher in life is experience. You don't learn by reading about squats, you learn by doing squats. Unfortunately, people in this stage often get stuck in paralysis by analysis, afraid of making mistakes. What if I do it wrong? What if I waste my time and money? What will people think about me? I don't want to embarrass myself. But the truth is, if you get stuck and you stay in the research mode, nothing changes. The only way forward is to take action. Imperfect action is still better than inaction. Now, the first 3 stages, rejection, intention, and preparation, unfortunately leads to 0 results. Why? Because there's 0 action. And without action, nothing changes. That's why we can't afford to stay stuck here. Real progress, real transformation comes from the next 5 stages. And this is where we want to spend the majority of our time and attention, because this is where action happens. This is where habits are built. This is where results last. Stage number 4, ignition. This is where people finally take action. Maybe they join a low-cost program. Maybe they join a gym membership. Maybe they try Noom or Weight Watchers or Peloton. They attend their first workout and then reality kicks in. They get sore, they get busy, they get discouraged, they feel intimidated. That first action becomes the only action. Why? Because there's no accountability. The problem with low-cost programs is that 95% of people that are on these programs don't even go. So to move forward, we need coaching, we need accountability. Someone to give us a plan, someone to hold us accountable. Think about the best athletes. The best athletes in the world, they're human too. Some days they don't feel like working out, some days they don't feel like eating healthy, but they still do. Why? Because they have the best coaches keeping them accountable. The next stage is repetition. At this point, it's no longer a one-time event. They're actually putting in the reps. Maybe they're working with a low-cost coach. Maybe they've joined a community. For the first time, it's not just one workout, it's starting to look like routine. But here's the problem. They start and stop. Even with coaching, it's usually short term. It's usually with a rookie coach. Maybe they do it for a couple weeks, maybe even a month, and then they stop. Maybe they try a different coach or a different program, and then they quit again. And then the same cycle repeats itself. The same thing happens with a workout partner. At first, having a workout buddy feels great. We motivate each other, we keep each other accountable, but then one day your partner says to you, hey, I can't make it today. Can we skip today? And then it happens again. And before you know it, both of you are skipping your workouts and you're completely out of this routine. This is a classic example of a yo-yoing. You lose the weight, you gain it back, you're consistent for 2 months, you stop for 3 months. But the reality is, if we stay stuck here, we're not making progress and we get stuck in that vicious cycle. What we need to do is we need to learn that at this stage, we need to start making it a habit. And that's exactly why people join my program, because we teach our members how to start forming habits and eventually make it an automatic habit. Speaking about forming habits, that's our next stage. Stage number 6, habit formation. At this stage, people are finally consistent. They found a proven program with an experienced coach holding them accountable every single day with their fitness, with their nutrition. And that's why members of my transformation program get the results that they do. Susan lost 20 pounds, Kimberly lost 30 pounds, Stacy lost 50 pounds. They don't have superhuman willpower. What they have is daily accountability. Every single day, me and my team, we're checking in on them with their fitness, with their nutrition. We work out together over Zoom. No gym membership required. We plan our meals every single week. No counting calories. Stay consistent and we get them results because of daily accountability. And that's the secret to start building habits, daily accountability. Think about a daily habit like brushing your teeth. When you were a kid, when I was a kid, we probably had our parents remind us, hey Patrick, did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? And now as an adult, do we need our mom and dad to remind us? No. Why? Because it's already a habit. And that's exactly how fitness nutrition habits are built, with daily accountability, so that eventually it can become second nature. And once habits become automatic, not only are you gonna lose weight in the short term, but you're gonna keep it off in the long term, and I call this permanent weight loss. But here's the truth, it's not easy. Habit formation takes energy, it takes effort, it takes focus. There will be slip-ups, there will be plateaus, there will be weeks where we do well, there will be weeks that we need a little bit more motivation. We need a little bit more accountability. And that's why it's really important to move into the next stage of habit mastery, which is really quick before we get back to the video. If you need help with one of these 3 things, number 1, you're looking for a workout plan, nutrition plan specifically to help you lose weight. Number 2, you're going through menopause and you're stuck in a plateau. Or number 3, you're looking to work with a coach to keep you accountable with your fitness and nutrition. Then click the link below, watch that video, schedule a free call with either me or my coaches. We love to help you out. Now back to the video. Stage number 7, habit automation. This is where things start to become powerful. In the habit automation stage, aka automatic habits, your habits become automatic, kind of like brushing your teeth. Even when you're stressed, even when you're tired, even when you're busy, even when you're unmotivated. Let me ask you a question. You still brush your teeth, don't you? Fitness nutrition no longer becomes something we try to fit in, it becomes part of our life. And when we don't do it, something feels off about our daily routine. In fact, it actually takes more effort to skip a workout rather than to show up for a workout. So know that you're in the habit automation stage. There's 2 big tests that we gotta pass. Test number 1 is plateaus. Most people that hit the habit automation stage, usually around the 6-month mark, they've usually broken through at least 1 or 2 plateaus. I define a weight loss plateau as being stuck at the same weight for 3 weeks in a row. Most women, usually when they lose 10 pounds and they lose the next 10 pounds, every 10 pounds is where they usually hit a plateau. right? And if you've been able to break through that plateau, multiple plateaus without quitting, you're on your way to making it an automatic habit. Test number 2, life events. When life throws you a curveball, can you stay consistent? Maybe you got sick. Maybe there's a family emergency. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe it's a birthday party or a holiday weekend, and yet you still showed up. That's the litmus test of whether you know it's an automatic habit. I tell my clients all the time, fitness nutrition is not something you pause, kind of like brushing your teeth. Even when you're on vacation, even when you're going to Hawaii, let me ask you this, you still brush your teeth, don't you? Of course. Why? Because it's an automatic habit. One of my clients, she's actually the top insurance broker in the state. Her name is Ludi. She went on a 3-week vacation because she was the top performer in the state. She was an action taker. She got great results, for the company. And so she said to me, Coach Patrick, can I take a pause, on vacation? I taught her how to make it a habit and start working out and forming fitness habits. And lo and behold, she lost 10 pounds on vacation. That vacation was called Bikini in the Bahamas. How amazing is that? Can you imagine losing 10 pounds on vacation? So no matter what life throws at you, we don't quit, we just keep going. But here's the catch. Even at this stage, something still feels missing. I see this all the time. Maybe clients lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30, 40 pounds, but they still see themselves as overweight. They're viewing themselves from their old lens. Maybe they believe that they're never gonna be good enough. Maybe deep down they haven't accepted themselves yet. And that's where we need to move to the final stage. So moving forward, it's not about doing more. It's not about creating more physical habits. It's about changing our being. It's about changing and shifting our identity. Stage number 8, habit transformation. This is the final stage. Are you guys ready? It's not about weight loss anymore, it's about identity. Let me explain. If a smoker wanted to give up smoking and they've been struggling for years, they're never gonna give up. They're never gonna give up smoking. Why? Because they see themselves as a smoker. On the other hand, let's pretend that someone was an athlete. All year round, they're gonna be working out and eating and staying fit. All year round, they're gonna have a certain amount of lean muscle and a low body fat percentage. Why? Because that's who they are. They're an athlete. They have high standards, they have a good routine, they have discipline all year round. And that's the difference. To truly transform, you have to leave behind your old identity. Maybe we view ourselves as big or lazy or unhealthy or overweight. We have to step into a new reality. Almost like when a caterpillar becomes into a butterfly. The process is long, uncomfortable, right? But when that transformation is complete, you're not gonna be the same person anymore. And when you embrace that new identity, when you say, I am fit, I am confident, I am strong, I'm a fit, strong, confident woman, there's no going back. This is who you are. And your habits are gonna stem from your new identity. Because habit transformation is not just the goal. Habit transformation is the person you become in the process. All right, Coach Patrick, you taught me the 8 stages of habit mastery: ignition, repetition, habit formation, habit automation, and habit transformation. What's next? You told me that I have to start breaking through plateaus, and I've been actually stuck in a weight loss plateau. Not to worry, because in the next video, I'm gonna be showing you the 8 ways to break through any weight loss plateau. You definitely wanna check out that next video right here.